Well, you rat bastards, we've done it. We made it. 2026. How long have we yearned for this year? And it's here. Well, it's been here. It's been here for about a month. We're about a 12th of the way through this thing already. Ooh, I don't like phrasing it like that. But you know how Laser Show is. Hey, you know my monthly, sometimes bi-monthly schedule. I just have so much going on. I'm sorry, I just have like a lot going on right now. And I'm going to tell you all about it. And you're going to realize I have almost nothing going on. I'm going to tell you guys about my sink. My sink was being weird. Not both my sinks. Just one of my sinks was just kind of being kind of weird. And Vladimir had to come over. And I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, it's just kind of just like a lot going on. Happy New Year. This is episode 47 of Laser Show. Another Trump episode. He seems good. Things seem fine. Hope everyone's staying safe out there and not getting shot in the face for standing up to Nazis and tyranny. Hope everyone's staying safe and staying warm and listening to Laser Show. Nothing warms your tootsies quite like Laser Show. And this podcast contains lasers that may trigger seizures in photosensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is Laser Show.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Good day, good morrow, good tidings, and good new year to you all. I hope everyone had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Unless you're one of those people who doesn't like New Year's Eve, which is a whole contingent that seems to be growing, and I keep learning about more and more of these people. Crazy. You can just go out and get drunk. It's really fun. But hope everyone had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Hope everyone's not too chilly. I know a lot of the country got rocked by a winter storm. And I hope everyone's safe and not spinning in circles. My God. How many people are spinning in circles and then people are getting video of it? Seeing a lot of just videos of cars just going out of control. 100 car pileups, cars spinning around. Look at this car spinning around. I got to film this car spinning around. Hope he doesn't spin off a cliff. Things are absolutely spectacular here in Southern California. We're in the high 60s, going to get into the mid 70s this coming week. So Happy New Year. The Super Bowl is set. Exciting times. Patriots, Seahawks, as we all predict. I will not be there. I am not participating in the Super Bowl because I am not a professional football player. Though I could be. I'm incredibly strong. And I'm very fast and agile. Some people say I should be in the National Football League, but I just have so much going on. I have this problem with my sink. Welcome to episode 47 of Laser Show. I am your host, Gucci Greatness, the Fabergé Fiend, Dr. Drip, Guac Daddy, second alderman of the, three-time employee of the month, one-time employee of the, three-time employee of the week, one-time employee of the month, and second alderman of the 3rd Ward of Cass County, Missouri in 2025, Ryan O'Flanagan. I thought I had that down by now. Hey, New Year, same old Rye, huh? Still can't make it quite through that thing without stumbling. Maybe 2026. I will memorize. That's going to be my resolution. Hope everyone's good. You know what I just noticed the other day? I only listened to a couple of podcasts. And I was listening to one of the podcasts I listened to, The Rich Eisen Show. I listened to that podcast. And then I listened to a lot of podcasts on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And then Panthers podcast. That's kind of my rotation. And then I was listening to The Rich Eisen Show, which by all accounts, I've known 2 people to work on that show. And they think he's an outright prick, which is unfortunate because I'm a fan. But sometimes you gotta just be a prick, and that's what makes you so successful. I don't get it. I'm a prick, and I have nothing going on. I have almost no money. Actually, I have way worse than no money. I have thousands of dollars of negative money. Now, what are you gonna do? But I was listening to that show, and they added a new little drop. Unless I just haven't noticed it, but I'm pretty sure this is a new little drop. I've been listening to this podcast a lot over the years. And they added, at the beginning, they added, pump up the volume. Whoa, hey, whoa. That is no one had thought of that song in 20 years before I started adding it to the intro of Laser Show. Don't tell me some other show is like, you know what would be a cool song to add to our intro? You know what I just thought of randomly? That song, Pump Up the Volume. Pump Up. No one's thought of that song. I'm the only one who thought of that song. Because I was having volume issues, I believe is how it came up. Also, I don't know if I sound any different. This is Laser Show. And this is a brand new iPhone. A lot of changes in my life. Yes, my last iPhone, which was a 12, I got tackled into a pool in October. You can do that in Southern California. You can go into a pool in October if you want. And I got tackled into a pool, and my phone was in my pocket. It survived. I mean, it survived. I was able to keep using it. It took a couple days of like a lot of turning off on its own and not charging. And then I think it just kind of dried out, and it pretty much started working again. And then, but sometimes it would just randomly turn off, and that was annoying. It would just restart. It would just randomly restart. And it would be like a few times throughout that day. And then the rest of the week, it'd just be fine. It would just like pick random days to constantly restart itself. So it was about time for me to get rid of it. And I sold it to a guy. I wish I could remember the guy's name. Very nice guy. He does real estate also. And also he's from Massachusetts. He's from the Boston area. So we got to, we were using exclamation points in our text. We were just really getting along so well. Hey, man, you're from Mass. Saw your area code. Whoa, so cool. And then he comes and he didn't come. He was just, it was just like a friendly thing. Exchanged. I sold him this phone. He did not come. I could have made him. I'm 37 now. I've made a lot of men come. Now, he comes to my place, I sell him the phone, and I tell him, look, buddy, just like it said I put it in the description, this phone, I sold it for $100. I was like, this phone, dude, it mostly works fine, but it just does randomly turn off. It'll just randomly just restart, but like mostly not, and sometimes like chargers, like it won't charge. You have to like unplug and replug and unplug and replug. Sometimes that happens. So it's like, it sucks. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. That's all I need. I just need a phone, like just like a little bit. It's going to be like a second phone. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe he sells drugs. But then he tells me, hey, man, if you're ever buying a home, please hit me up. I'm getting into, being a realtor. And if you're looking to buy a home, man, and I go, yeah, I just came outside in my sweatpants to sell you a broken phone for $100. I'm not going to be buying a home ever in my life, I can promise you. Not just soon. I can 100% guarantee I will never buy a home. I just don't have the work ethic for it. But I have a wonderful apartment, although things have been falling apart at Gucci Gardens. That's right, folks. Well, before I get into that, I have a sponsor. Hold on. Oh, it's my boy, Terrence Edelman. He sponsored me this month. He Venmo'd me at Ryan O'Flan. You can Venmo me any amount you want, but the more the better, because then I get to have that. And I need it. And so whatever you want. And then I'll mention you as a sponsor. Terrence's wife also made me really good cookies once. They were really good cookies. I think I have that right. Right, Terrence? I remember I was getting it wrong. Delicious, double chocolate. We're talking chocolate with chocolate. If you know anything about me, when it comes to sweets, I just want the more chocolate, the better, for the most part. I just polished off an ice cream today, and I am done going to Ralph's, going to the grocery store, high out of my mind. I bought so much just chocolate, and I'm eating it constantly throughout the day, but I just threw out this, I didn't throw it out, I finished it, and I'm taking it out of the trash to read you what flavor it was. Chocolate cookie crumble. It was just chocolate ice cream with cookie crumbles and chocolate swirls. And so Terrence Edelman's wife, shout out Robert Edelman as well, hey buddy. But Terrence Edelman as the one who made the wife who gave me the cookies, and they were chocolate on chocolate. If you're ever going to bring me food, and please do, if you come see me on the road, and I'll get into my road dates in a bit, they're in a lot of really fun places. And feel free to bring me any food, a Fabergé egg, a Fabergé egg, or maybe a semicolon, a size medium t-shirt, and whatever else you want. You think I can fit in a suitcase? 32 by 30 pants, size 11 shoes. Oh, I would love if someone brought me a pair of shoes. Although I did just buy a new pair of shoes, and guess what? If you see me wearing these sick new blue and white Nikes, right? I just bought these, right? I think I may have talked about this I think I did. I talked about it on my last episode, how I won that gift card to the PGA Tour gift shop. $600 PGA Tour gift card. What the hell am I going to do with that? I don't golf, but I won it at a Christmas party. I golf a little bit. So I sent some friends some golf balls. I was like, all right. I bought some golf balls for my friends. I don't really need golf balls really anytime soon, I don't think. I have no plans to go golfing. I'm sure I will at some point in my life, maybe this year even. But I got plenty of balls. I got like 20 golf balls. And I don't really need nice golf balls because I'm just going to rocket them into the fucking woods. So I never really played with nice balls. But hey, maybe if I were playing with nicer balls, and I love playing with balls. But if I was playing with nicer balls, maybe they wouldn't go rocketing into the woods. Maybe it's because the balls I played with are frayed and chewed by dogs. And they're off-white. And they weigh different than a regular golf ball. Maybe it is. Maybe I actually am a really good golfer. Well, it's too late to know. I already spent the full $600 fucking dollars on PGATourShop.com. And I got these new Nikes that are these blue and white Nikes. And if you see me in those Nikes, I'm probably going to bring them on the road in my March shows. And I just want you to know, those are actually golf shoes. Check them out. They're golf shoes. I'm just wearing golf shoes as regular shoes because they are nicer than my shoes. Hate to do it to them. But these are pretty nice looking shoes, and they are, what's cool about them being golf, they're just look like regular sneakers. I guess the bottom is like a little more grip than an average just Nike sneaker. A little bit. It's not like cleats or nothing, but they do have those. That'd be cool to wear around. Yeah, they're sick, right? Check them out. I like your shoes. Oh, thanks, dude. They're cleats. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, look, they're football cleats. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they're cleats. They are spiked cleats at the bottom. Yeah, they're really loud. It's nice, dude. It's like, looks like orange and like I saw the Nike and yeah, they're super tight on my feet because they're actually football cleats with spikes on the bottom. Makes me really tall and they're pretty loud. They scuff a lot. Oh, cool. I like those. Yeah, thanks. They're cleats. Anyway, I'll show you my golf shoes. But what's cool about them is that they are kind of like shiny. I guess with the, in theory, they're for outdoors. So You know, they got to be a little easier to handle. It's got to handle some grass. And you got to like clean them, I'd imagine. So because of that, they're easier to clean and they don't scuff up as much. I've been wearing them out and I really like how much they don't. Once I get is there anything worse than getting a new pair of shoes and then fucking wearing them? Oh my God. It's the worst part of getting new shoes. You wear them out and you're fucking so anal all night about not scuffing your new shoes. You can't even have fun. People come over and try to talk to you. You go, back up, buddy. Jesus. I'm trying to look good tonight. And I got new shoes and I like them. I really like them. So now I'm having a really bad, that's why I'm having such a bad time wearing them. But these shoes, may I recommend golf shoes? May I recommend golf shoes? Because they look just like regular shoes. These look like regular Nikes. You're going to like them. They're so plain. They're no frills, no thrills. Nice light blue and white. And then the Nike swoosh is dark blue. Really nice shoe. You would almost never know that it was actually a golf shoe. And the tongue of the shoe, the tongue of the shoe, I'll show you right now. You're not going to believe this. It is a motherfucking Jumpman of Nike fame, Nike Air fame. And then under it, it says golf, proving once and for all that they are golf shoes. But it has the Jumpman, and it's not the Jumpman with a golf club. He's not jumping in the air after having won the Masters. He's not jumping up to take some wild-ass shot with a golf club, Happy Gilmore style, some sort of a wild jump shot type. No, it's just the Jumpman of basketball. He's dunking a basketball. You could not believe how much just like regular shoes these golf shoes are. Except that it says golf. Anyway, I got that. This is how I spent my $600. New golf shoes, about like $150 maybe. Sent some golf balls to my friend who threw the party, who gave me the gift card. Sent her really nice golf balls. Pro V1s they're called. Or maybe even Pro V2s or something like that. Or I don't know. One of those. One of the ones that I've heard. I've heard of Pro V1s. And then I bought my friend Tim some New England Patriots golf balls. Just because he golfs a lot. And the New England Patriots, if you can believe it, are in the Super Bowl. After, I don't know how many of you know this. I believe I talked about it. I think I talked about this on the podcast. My friend Tim and I had a bet last year. Who would lose more games, the Patriots or the Panthers? This is 2024. Loser had to get their septum pierced. So the Pats lost more games. Tim got his septum pierced for this silly, silly bet. And then guess what happens? He looks great, first of all. Everyone loves it. He loves it. It's a very welcome life change, and he likes it. And then the Patriots are in the Super Bowl a year later. The Panthers didn't get to the playoffs. A very fun year. Yeah, I haven't talked to you guys since all that drama went down, huh? Remember all that drama? Just the Panthers got into the playoffs with a losing record. A funny little end to the season, but it was really fun. And I think if you're a Panthers fan and you're sad about how the season ended, I don't know if you're really a Panthers fan. I think you gotta be happy with all that. I felt nothing but just pleasantness after that loss. That loss. We had a lead with 2 minutes to go. We had a lead with 40 seconds to go against the Rams in the playoffs. Hey, man, that was fucking fun. So, anyway, so I was going to tell you about Gucci Gardens is falling apart. Oh, my God, the leaks. And the Gucci Gardens is my apartment. It's a one-bedroom. This building was built in 1948. This building is the same age as Israel. Israel having a great time right now. 2026, I think, is... Oh, I did book a commercial. I got to write that down. I remember to talk about that. after I tell you about Gucci Gardens, and hopefully things start looking up. But man, the leaks at my apartment have just been ridiculous. When it rains here, it's an old building. And just all hell breaks loose in my apartment when it rains. And as far as I know, none of the other apartments have anything wrong. And I'm downstairs. It's a 2-level building and I'm downstairs. But I get rain or water coming in through my roof, through my ceiling. But the guy above me doesn't. And he's up under the roof. I also love when people say roof. I think uncommon pronunciations of words, damn near objectively incorrect mispronunciations of words, like Valentine's Day. I love when people say Valentine's Day. It's just like a little stupid and a little charming. Roof isn't stupid. That's just a regional thing. But I like it. I like it. Your room. Go to your room. Anyway, I get these leaks like crazy. And they come in through the wall. I don't know. They somehow work their way to like 4 feet into the ceiling of my room. And I'll wake up. It always seems to happen at night. I actually am realizing that maybe, just maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's like the tides of the moon. Because it never, I'm thinking how this never really happens during the day. It's always I wake up to all hell breaking loose. I woke up one time, my fan, it was raining really hard, and I woke up to my fan above my bed, a ceiling fan, was just gushing water. Not dripping water, it was gushing water. Gushing is also a strong word. But I'm trying to show that it was more than dripping. It was a solid stream of water. It wasn't a gush. But it was a solid, like if you were brushing your teeth, maybe. If you were trying to conserve water but brush your teeth, you do like a little stream, right? I have a video. Maybe I'll include that video when I post this on Instagram. I like to, when I post on Instagram, if you don't see, I like to post pictures of things that I was talking about, which is a great way. I should just go into my photos and see what's been happening since my last episode, which was December 23rd. But first, I'm going to show you or tell you about my leak. They have come to try to fix this leak. I keep making people come. They had to come to fix this leak. They hire leak people, Mexicans. We hire some Mexicans to come and work on the leak, and they don't really know donde it's even coming from. And they're patching stuff, just holes. Things really started going south when they installed these new AC units, which are fantastic AC units. Mini splits, AC, and heat. We used to not have either of those. So it's really cool to have that. But now when it rains, which is rare, my apartment floods. And it's probably, I think, 3 or 4 times they've come and sent someone to try to patch it, because it's just, I'll wake up and there'll just be water dripping from my ceiling. One time from my ceiling fan, which can't be safe. There's electricity, there's electronics in there. Lights and electronics. I could have been electrocuted in my sleep. That's one of my top 50 ways I don't want to go out. I don't want to get electrocuted in my sleep. Not before I write my note. I have to write a note before I have a lot of secrets. And it's going to leave a lot of mystery in the world, and you guys gotta know what really happened in my life. Stuff I really can't talk about on Laser Show. But, yeah, they couldn't figure out this leak. It rained again a couple weeks ago, and I just got all wet, and I didn't get wet. My room got all wet. I got a little wet. And then, so my landlord decided, we're going to run a test. We're going to run some diagnostics. Just straight up tests of trying to figure out where this leak is coming from. Because we don't know if it's coming from the roof, down. Is it coming from in the walls? Is it coming from in the mini split? All I know is it somehow goes into my into the bedroom, there's a crack in the ceiling and it drips down. So we run a diagnostic test. My landlord goes outside with a hose and is hosing down different parts of the building. And then we're just talking on the phone. He's like, okay, I'm spraying the left side of the wall. Is there any water getting in? I'm like, no. He's like, all right. Okay, I'm spraying like above on the second floor, trying to get into the gutter. Is it coming in there? Nope. And he was just outside spraying. I got plenty of leaks in my windows. So perhaps it's a window thing. I don't know how the moisture would get from the window and then go up into the ceiling, but perhaps they are related in some way. So I was like, yeah, dude, pretty much every single window is leaking. They're like, that's not great. I don't know if that would fix the ceiling leak, but definitely all my windows are leaking. And they also do leak. When it rains really hard, my windows they'll be wet. I'm not as concerned about that. And neither was he. And he was like, yeah, it's just the windows. Yeah, those are just old windows. We're trying to find where the ceiling leak is coming from. I'm like, all right. I do have to clean up all this now. So it is wet in here, though, from this test. So ultimately, we couldn't figure out. We never got the ceiling to leak. We could never make the ceiling wet. Story of my life. But he said, yeah, we'll just, we'll also just replace all your windows. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm getting all new windows. And it's great because these windows, everything is, winter is a very moist time here in Gucci Gardens. And I'm getting fucking mold in like new places, like my asshole. And you got to just stay on top of the mold. Mold is not good. And there's like a lot of mold around. I gotta keep my windows. They get moldy if you don't stay on top of it. And it's so annoying. I don't want to be on top of it. You know what I mean? But I'm getting all new windows. Showers, things are always just fucking damp in here in the winter, man. My towels can never get dry. But I love a winter. I mean, if I could just leave my windows open, that's the thing. You have to keep your windows closed. It gets so cold here in LA. Don't you guys know? God, it's fucking like 55 last night. No, but I do hope you're staying safe. No, but I do hope you're staying safe and hope your car isn't spinning around in circles. Because that happened to me once in the snow, freshman year of college. I got into a huge accident that stopped the entire Mass Pike. And then it was on the news. It was on CNN. That's probably a story for another day. I did look for the footage of that recently, and it's not anywhere. I'm going to have to call CNN. I also, when I first moved to LA, I walked into the CNN building in Hollywood and asked if I could just work there. And the guy was like, I'm the security guy. And I was like, all right, can I give you a resume? And he was like, no, I'm the security guy. When you walk into the CNN building, you're only going to see one whole guy at all. And it's just the security guy, and that's all he does. And he's behind a desk. And he can send you up. He can send you up to different floors. That's about it. And then he can keep you, hopefully, secure. Not a great part of town, the CNN building, but I've always lived in Hollywood, and I thought that'd be a cool job to have. You can't just go up and ask a security guy. But I said, can I give you a resume? I had a binder with one resume in it. I brought a resume. And he was like, you would want to just go like on the website probably and just like apply there. So I did that, and no, I didn't. Like, you go on the website. It's not like apply to work at CNN. That's not like a tab. But you can definitely like inquire about employment opportunities. There's no send your resume here, because they would have really liked my resume. I think theater major, 21 years old, no skills. Majored in theater, does not have any skills in the whole world, but I live right nearby. I can promise I will be on time. I'll work like a dog. Hey, I'm a 3-time employee of the week, 1-time employee of the month. Mind you, this is inaugural, both of those. They started doing that award because they just had to acknowledge what a good employee I was. And I was a damn good employee at Landmark Theater. Have not been back since I left. I remember leaving and telling everyone I'm going to come back all the time and watch movies. Have not been back once, but that's not because I don't want to go back. There's just been no good movies that I want to see in so long. Literally since I've left. I guess I kind of want to see The Bone Temple. Oh, I guess I kind of want to see Marty Supreme. I heard that's good. But I did just watch 28 Years Later today, which had the funniest ending of any movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And I remember people telling me when that movie was out, because I was working at the movie theater at the time. Great movie, and then the end is so weird. There's just a really weird ending. And I remembered that when I was watching this movie, I'm like, oh, this is the movie people were saying has a really weird ending, right? And I started getting towards the end of the movie. And there were some just like kind of odd things happening, I guess. Kind of interesting things. But I'm like, I wouldn't call this a crazy ending. And then there would be a new scene and go, okay, so that wasn't the ending. Okay. What's going to be the really crazy? Is that supposed to be the crazy ending? And then it gets to the actual really weird ending. And then you go, oh, that's what everyone's talking about. That is the fucking weirdest thing I could never have imagined. These Power Ranger people coming out of the woodwork with gold chains. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, go see it. That's just a little spoiler if you haven't seen it. Go fuck yourself. It's January. The new one's out. Ass clown. I'm going to go see the new one. Perhaps in my... I don't know. Probably not at this point. It's probably almost out of theaters. But anyway, I haven't been back. Don't really remember why I started talking about this, but I was talking about the leak in my apartment. Anyway, so he sprayed the place down, could never find it, getting new windows. And then, so that's that, and that's okay. I'm excited to get new windows and get rid of some of this mold. And then, just recently, my fucking kitchen sink, good grief, folks, my kitchen sink just started getting lower and lower and lower water pressure, to the point where it was trickling out almost as if it were my ceiling fan in my bedroom. I had to call my landlord and say, hey, dude, my kitchen sink is putting out water at a PSU that is about like when it was coming out of my ceiling fan in my bedroom. So I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if you want that to be high or low, but that's what it is. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's a light dribble. He has to send Vladimir over. Vladimir, I can't tell if Vladimir likes me. I think Vladimir is our maintenance guy. And he's over my apartment all the time. There's always something wrong with the pipes. And it's always something like fixable. Like one time he came over because my garbage disposal wasn't working. I was hitting the switch and then it would just go, and it wouldn't work. And so Vladimir had to come over, and he digs in there with a glove on, and then he pulls out just like a rock. There was just a rock in there from I think from a plant that I had just bought, maybe. And there was maybe I unboxed it in my kitchen or something, but a little rock was just in my garbage disposal, and he takes out the rock and he hands it to me, puts it in my hand, and he goes, bye-bye. And I was like, well, that was embarrassing. Then my water pressure in my shower was really low, and I was like, hey, landlord, can you turn up my water pressure? And he was like, no. We have to have Vladimir come over and look at it. And then my fucking shower pipes, the shower head was just clogged with just general rust and debris. That's how shitty the pipes are in this place. And then he just cleared it, put the shower head back on, which was a brand new shower head that I bought a year or two ago. It's one of those filtered ones because I know the pipes are so bad. And he just put the shower head back on, and it's been great since. Maybe it's decreasing a bit as more residue builds. But anyway, then he's like, yeah, that was it. That took 60 seconds. And I'm like, man. So now when I have something go wrong in my apartment, it takes like a long time for me to feel like I have to say something. And I'll try to fix it myself. But I'm just not that much of a handyman. I'm just very strong. And I'm very fast. I'm very agile. I have good field awareness, I think. I'm elusive in the pocket. I can break on a dime. I don't show what route I'm going to do until I get to the top of my route. It looks the same every time. But I'm just not really a handyman. And then recently, this kitchen sink has been getting lower and lower water pressure for like a month maybe. And I'm like, now I'm turning it on and I go, this sucks. I can't even like wash my dishes. The water pressure doesn't even wash the stuff off the dish. It's just making it wet. And I take my whole sink apart, dude. I get tools out. I get my fucking tools. My grabber tool. Whatever the hell you'd even call that. The grabber tool that grabs stuff really hard and good if you want to turn like a bolt. The bolt turner. A wrench? Is that a wrench? Some sort of a wrench? I know you're all screaming at your phones right now if you know the answer to what that tool is called. I don't. So I took my faucet apart, by blowing into the faucet through one end of it, whatever it's called, the spigot. Spigot, ooh. I can say spigot. My best friend is a spigot. A gay Spanish person. I can say spigot. You can't say spigot unless your best friend is a gay Spanish person. But I'm blowing into it. I'm screwing it back on. Still low water pressure. I gotta call my landlord. Hey, yeah, well, low water pressure. He goes, okay, we'll text Vladimir. Vladimir comes over the next morning. Walks right in. He's like friendly enough, He's like, hey, good morning. And he kind of looks like Einstein. And he goes over to the faucet, unscrews it, but he unscrews a different part. He unscrews a part that I didn't know could unscrew, and that is like right literally where the water comes out. I thought that was just an attached kind of ring to the main spigot, but no, you can twist that part, I learned. He twists that out, and there's just a black piece of plastic in the hole directly, and there's a little hole in it, even smaller than the circumference of the actual metal ring itself. There's an even smaller hole in the middle, and there's just a black piece of plastic, stringy, about an inch long, skinny black piece of plastic or rubber. He called it rubber. I would call it plastic, but I can guarantee he knows better than me. I would call this plastic. I'm holding it right now in my hand. In the shape of a J. And he pulled that out, simply put it in my hand and said, yes, I go, what? That's what's causing it? And he goes, yeah. And I go, what, if I may ask, what is that? Why is it directly in the hole of where the water comes out? And he goes, it's just rubber from the pipes. Oh, it's just rubber from the pipes. Oh, my water isn't coming out because there's just water from the pipe, because there's just rubber from the pipes. We have rubber pipes? Can we talk about that? If there's one thing we should probably get renovated at Gucci Gardens, if we could get metal pipes in 2026. They might have to raise the rent 3%, but I think it's worthwhile to get metal pipes. But anyway, so then he screwed the thing back on and the water came out much faster. Nothing crazy. It wasn't like fucking scary movie. I'm a fart on these walls, Ray. I'm a shit in your mouth, Ray. Not that level of expulsion of water, but it was much better. That was cum in the movie, by the way. If you don't know what I'm talking about. And it came out much better, much faster. And that was on Saturday. Saturday, yeah. So it's now been 3 days, and the water, I'm telling you, the water's starting a little bit to fucking go down a little bit again. And dude, but Vladimir was here. He pulled that black thing out, put it in my hand. He goes, "Yep, it's rubber from the pipes. What else?" And I go, "Nothing. That was it." I didn't know that part of the faucet came out. Otherwise, I would have done that, and I probably could have just done that. But sorry, dude. Yeah, that's it. And he goes, "All right, see you later." He was in my apartment, I'm not joking, for probably 78 seconds. And then he drove on home in this white van. And our landlord just texted today, days later. Group chat, me, him, and Vladimir. "Hey, you guys, did Vladimir ever fix that water issue?" I go, "He sure did, thanks." And he goes, "Awesome!" Exclamation point. And I reckon I'll be hitting them up again as the pressure gets lower and lower. But now I know how to take that ring off. So I'm really just learning a lot of things where hopefully by the year like 2033, I won't ever need to call Vladimir again. Poor guy, he's old. He looks like Einstein. Neighborhood's going to shit. There's a serial smasher. This is not where I live, but I saw on the news yesterday there's a serial windshield smasher going around Silver Lake. Hey, if you're in Silver Lake, don't be a windshield. Smash, just for the hell of it, just for the joy of it. Sometimes you gotta just smash a windshield. Yeah, it's just, if you can't get a parking spot in LA, that's just such a pain. I had that for many, many years. It's an absolute must when getting an apartment, because it's not just the annoyance of trying to find parking around here. It's the craziest things will happen to your car if they're parked on the street. My neighbor's car, my upstairs neighbor, a few years ago, his car got totaled by what, you might ask? A drunk driver, a driver that fell asleep and crashed into his car? No, folks. His car got totaled by a homeless man with a rock that beat the shit out of his car so bad in the middle of the night that it would cost more money to fix than you gotta just get a new car at that point. So it totaled his car, and it was some sort of a stupid car. Granted, it was looks like a Fiat, but it's like a fancy Italian Fiat. He loved this car, and it got fucking totaled. But, therein lies the rub. Some people don't get a parking spot. In that very neighborhood where there's the window smasher, I got one of my windows smashed in. I was just at a bar after a kickball game. We'll go to a bar and get one drink and then go home after when I was playing kickball a couple years ago. And then I come out into the parking lot of Ye Rustic, that fucking piece of shit bar. That place sucks. Everyone at Ye Rustic used to work at Dick's Last Resort. It's the fucking rudest staff in Los Angeles. Every time. But anyway, then I went outside and I got my window smashed. I had gotten my window smashed. It was probably one of their fucking employees on a break. Those rude-ass employees. Anyway, what the heck was I talking about? Window smash. Yeah, the neighborhood's going to shit. It's just like a lot of homeless. And I'm pretty... I try to be, sympathetic, empathetic, whatever. But, boy, it does get to be quite a pain when you just have to walk into the middle of the road to go, around encampments, and then there's just trash and poop everywhere. I'm kind of sick of trash and poop being everywhere. And they like to smash. They just built this new building a block from me, a new apartment building, and for some reason they decided to make the bottom floor of this building, they're not occupied yet. I don't know if they're going to be stores or if they're going to be apartments. I don't know. But they have a whole fence, but it's separated into units, little balconies, all the way around the front of the building. And they decided to make the fences of these little balconies glass for one whole block, and then it turns and it goes around the other side. Just glass. And it was just constant for 2 years. These just glass panes just getting smashed. And I walk by it on my way to the gym every day, and I go, "That's a new glass got smashed. Stop having glass on the ground floor in the absolute asshole armpit of Hollywood. It's gonna get smashed. People love smashing stuff around here. It's just a bunch of smashers. Smash burgers. Smosh, the YouTube channel. It's just that kind of area. So now they've started replacing them with metal instead of glass. Great move. Very ugly. Unfortunately, I love what they were going for with the glass. Aesthetically, it looks great. You can't have that on Sunset and La Brea. It will get smashed. If the homeless people don't smash it, fuck it, I'm going to smash it. It's just one of those areas that makes you want to smash. There's a lot of tension and anger around here. You can see everyone's just got their fists balled up walking around the street. They just want to smash so bad. I get it. You just get in that mood. When you watch Top Gun Maverick, didn't you leave that theater and go, I just want to fly a plane so fucking bad. I want to fly a plane and I want to shoot the gun of the plane. I want to shoot the gun of the plane so bad. That's Hollywood. People are just watching Wreck-It Ralph, I suppose. But anyway, I'll be here until I die. It's rent controlled, and that's a pretty sweet spot other than everything I just talked about. The Super Bowl is coming up. Who cares? I can tell you about my tour dates. Yes. My March tour is locked in, and there's going to be a nice poster for it. And my friend Sam Robichaud is going to do my poster for my little March tour. It's going to be cool. I'm going to print them out and bring them. So if you come see me in South Bend, Indiana, or Chicago, oh my God, get this. So my first show, which is definitely probably going to be a struggle. I have really not been doing any comedy at all, especially not any headlining sets, since October maybe. And that's just kind of what I've been doing. And so I'm going to be shaking off some rust for these first few shows. That's for absolute sure. But it'll be fun. Hey, it'll be fun. And I got koozies and things. But I'm doing a South Bend, I think it's like a bar in South Bend, Indiana on a Thursday. And that's how I'm starting the show. I'm going to be shaking off the rust. I'm definitely going to be drinking because I'm going to be nervous before the show. And afterwards, I'm going to be glad that it's over. Or it will probably be a little bit of a struggle at times. So I think I'm going to be drinking. And then on Friday, I can't believe I said yes to this, but I felt like I had to, and I don't want to. But I have to go be on the news in Chicago. On the news, promoting. I have to do I'm doing a Chicago weekend next on that Friday and Saturday at the Comedy Bar. So come on out to that if you're in Chicago. But I have to go on the news, and I have to get there at 9 a.m. And South Bend is 2 hours from Chicago. And at that time of morning, I bet traffic's going to be crazy. So I should probably leave eat pretty early. I feel like I got to leave at 6:30. I don't know. I'm not getting paid for it. I could also just skip it. But the news is really counting on me. But I have to go be on the news. I have to get there at 9, and the news program starts at 10. I don't know what it is. Good Morning Chicago or something. And I'm going to go on and promote my shows, and just a 5-minute segment promoting my show. What am I going to say? I'm not one of these comics that can go on the news and be funny. I guess I'll try. But I'm going to be so hungover on the news. And no, who knows? Hopefully something funny happens on the drive in. Hopefully I have something funny to talk about on the news, because as far as I can tell, I'm just going to be yeah, I'm doing these shows. Come on out this weekend. I'm doing these shows. This is me. This is what I look like. I'm not going to do any of my jokes on the news. I'm not going to give you an example of what the show is going to be. I'm just showing you this is my face and my head. And I'm just proving to you that I am a real live person, and I'm going to tell you to come to this show. And they're going to go, thank you for joining us. That was Ryan O'Flanagan. You don't know anything about him. So God willing, hopefully I spin out on the highway but survive. No, if I spin out on the highway, I will call the news and say, hey, I'm not going to do the news. Any excuse to not have to do this, I would be thrilled. I 100% do not want to go on the news at fucking 10 in the morning after driving 2 hours. It's going to be chilly as hell, too. I probably got to get like a good vehicle. Very excited to get my good vehicle. We'll see what the weather report. That was March 12th as my first show. So, yeah, it's going to be like early March in Chicago, Indiana. I'm doing Minneapolis. I hope you guys fucking chill out for a bit. Enough drama. I really don't want to. My friend Danny just did shows up there. I'm like, man, I guess I came like, no, I went to Minnesota like 8 or 9 months after like the George Floyd riots. But even that was like, I was like a little scared. I think it was like during he was about to do his trial or something like that. So there was like a tension, but people were there for a comedy show and it was fine. I feel like all hell is breaking loose over there. But I want to be in Minneapolis. I want to be in Milwaukee. I'm, of course, going to be in West Bend, Wisconsin. If you thought I wasn't going to go to West Bend, Wisconsin, you're crazy. And I'm going back to Eau Claire. Oh, I'm finally doing Des Moines, Iowa. Just check RyanO'Flanagan.com if you want to go to any of those. I just want to check and see if I'm forgetting any. South Bend, Chicago. Oh, Appleton, Wisconsin. I like that. That's right. That was the only place that I performed. That's not true. The first place I performed during heavy COVID was Appleton, Wisconsin. Des Moines, Minneapolis, Eau Claire, Milwaukee, Bend. Oh, and I'm going back to Davenport. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's very exciting. And then I'm ending the tour on that. That's going to be a blast. Yeah, the Renwick Mansion in Davenport, Iowa. One of my favorite places to perform. But I did just do that last March, right? I don't know how much new material I have. It's not a lot. I haven't been writing a whole lot. Oh, Jack just texted me. What are you doing tonight, Broseph? I'm recording the podcast right now. Then I'm gonna edit it. It's just I was gonna go to Rouse, get some cereal. I just don't. Hey, but who knows? We'll see how I feel after this. Night is young. But yeah, come to any of those shows. Go to RyanO'Flanagan.com for tickets. Let me go through my photos and see if I have anything. Oh, I went to a real dubstep show last weekend. Remember dubstep? I think it's back. I had a great time. I was easily the oldest person there. But the kids they like dubstep. And it is very fun. It is absolutely deafening. I was wearing one earplug. I brought one pair of earplugs. Split them. I brought a shit ton of earplugs and forgot them all at the pregame. Luckily, we had 2 earplugs between the 4 of us people, so I got to wear one in my left ear. And, Forever Young, it was an artist called Weathen. Not a whole lot to report. That was pretty much the most exciting thing in the past month for me. I'm just scrolling back. Remember that sketch? Yep, I made a GIF. Oh, I booked a commercial, kind of. It's a commercial. Speaking of the movie 28 Years Later, this commercial that I booked for Straight Talk Wireless was also shot on an iPhone. That's right. I did this commercial for Straight Talk Wireless that was filmed vertically on an iPhone, so it's going to air. I don't know where it's going to air. I guess it's like digital, so maybe before YouTube ads on your phone or something like that. I don't know. But it's I did a few little Straight Talk Wireless spots. I auditioned to be the main spokesperson of Straight Talk Wireless, and that I actually think I may have read that script in my last episode. Straight Talk, potholes. I know what Uncle Sam should do with my money, and I know what I'll do when I get some back. Hold on to it for my family. That's where Straight Talk Wireless comes in. Straight Talk's always been the same price since they started, back in 2009. And they've always offered free 5G phones for new and existing customers on America's most reliable 5G network. Straightforward, always. Get it at the place that's always been known for straightforward prices and nice, smooth parking lots. And then I pull into a Walmart. They have a partnership. Anyway, I went out for that guy, and I should have got it because I memorized the goddamn whole audition, as I just showed you. And I didn't get it. I got a call back for it though. I didn't get it, and then but I did get one of the other people in the spots that are not the spokesperson. They're just like these doofuses at a bar, and we make much less money. This guy gets to be like in the TV spots. Ours are just digital only. But I'm like at this bar, and then we meet the guy who booked that main role, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. He's like a cowboy, utterly handsome, cool. You trust this guy with your wireless network in sight. And then we're all at this bar, and we're all kind of dressed. There's like 4 of us that are all like patrons, and there's a bar. There's 3 like patrons and 1 bartender. And this poor bartender, she has so many lines talking about straight talking. We're just like dummies at a bar, like, yeah. Drinking out of these red cups. Not red Solo cups, just red plastic cups that were supposed to symbolize drinking, but you can't show drinking in a commercial. And but we were all dressed like really like fucking farm people. We're all wearing like Carhartt, just very hard clothing. And they were really trying to push this like, yeah, we're trying to. I mean, people had like tears and like stains on their clothes, literally. And we're all supposed to be at this bar looking like fucking utter shit. Wearing these dirty old boots, and they just. I was pretty shocked when I went into the fitting, and they were like, okay, we're gonna put everyone in like absolute bullshit. Like used old, very rough, scratchy old clothing. We want to look like down-to-earth, middle America. Because they're really trying to push these commercials to those people. Who doesn't have a fucking wireless plan that they're probably fine with. And they're really emphasizing like being in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if you've seen these like Luke Wilson, Billy Bob Thornton commercials for these wireless networks where they're just walking through the middle of nowhere and they're like, yep. Even out here in the middle of nowhere, Verizon or T-Mobile or whatever. Luke Wilson has one where he's doing a fake Southern accent. It's so bizarre. Why are you're Luke Wilson? You can get an actor that's not very famous to do that. But why is Luke Wilson, if you're going to get a celebrity spokesperson, have them be a celebrity spokesperson and be the celebrity. Don't go, this guy, you know this actor. Now here he is playing a Southerner who loves his T-Mobile and how much it works in the middle of nowhere. What is going on? Who else had a weird-ass commercial recently? Hertz had one. Oh yeah, Hertz has been doing these commercials. I've definitely talked about stupid Hertz commercials on this podcast before. Fucking Hertz has the weirdest commercial. Hertz had one that was like, don't tell your real car that you're fucking this new rental car. It'll just be our little secret. I'm going to hug those curves. And you're going to fuck this new car. Don't tell your old car. It doesn't have to know. Just before a weekend. Oh my God. Infidelity as a selling point was just bizarre. And then their new one is like the It Had to Be You song, but they changed it to It Had to Be New. And they're pitching how Hertz rental cars are new cars. Yeah, no shit, Hertz. Do you think other rental car companies are renting out used, like, old cars? What are you doing? At Hertz, our cars are new. Go fuck yourself, Hertz. And I'm a Hertz loyalty member. Their advertising department needs to suck my ass. I'm mostly just mad because it plays it constantly on these, like, podcasts I listen to. And I always got to hear, it had to be new. They all have to be new. I think by law, they all have to be new. Don't quote me on that. I don't know a single law. I don't know my rights, and I don't know laws. But I feel like rental cars have to be pretty new legally, Hertz. But anyway, I did my commercial, and we're all dressed like shit because they're pitching to middle America, I suppose. It's very weird. But I do have one funny story from the day. It was a pretty whatever day. Oh, they had really good food. I think it's so strange when people, you can tell how much people are really like working on sets when they they don't think the food is good. I'm like, oh my God, this is so much better than what I eat on a daily basis. I think this is fantastic. They had shrimp, and I was eating the shrimp, and the makeup girl, I was talking to the makeup girl, the hair girl. Yeah, it's the hair girl. No, it's the makeup girl. I don't remember. They each do both, I suppose. But she was like, I couldn't eat that shrimp. It was too salty. I had to order food. I'm like, you ordered food? You paid money and ordered food? Your lunch? They are giving us a shit ton of free food, and it's buffet style. You can get seconds if you want. There's so much food. There's pasta. There's rice. They just had like general cubes of beef. Beef cubes. Delicious chocolate chip cookies, lemonade. Mashed potatoes. I was eating pretty good. Veggies. And they had shrimp. And she was like, and I was eating the shrimp. I was like, man, I haven't had shrimp in a while. This is cool. I'm never at home. I'm never making fucking shrimp. Shrimp? I dare say I've never made shrimp. Except for Blue Aprons, which sends shrimp to your door if you forget to check the box that says, don't fucking send me shrimp. I don't feel like making shrimp. If it costs the same either way, send me some chicken or beef or pork. Don't send me little fucking bugs. So shrimp is good. I'm certainly not buying it and cooking it ever in my life. But it's a nice treat. It's a decadent treat. And this woman, it was too salty. What? It tasted exactly like good shrimp to me. Do you know they're from the ocean? I thought it tasted like just good shrimp. The last thing I would ever think about that is that it's too salty. But anyway, book this commercial. But anyway, so I'm in. We get there early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, not crazy. But then we got to sign this paperwork. I go into the wardrobe trailer. And this is at where we had to park, crew parking for the day before we were picked up in shuttles and brought to the shooting location, which was at a bar. We all have to park in this big dirt lot that is like some sort of a horse area. There's like a horse track, and I saw a couple of people with horses. There's just like a general horse area. There's stables. It's just a big open area, and there's horses about. And it's kind of muddy. It had rained. My apartment had leaked. It had rained. This is in Sylmar, California. So it's only like a 35, 40-minute drive from where I live in Hollywood. And so I go into it's my turn to go into the wardrobe trailer to get my wardrobe for the day, or at least my first one for the day, because there was a few commercials, a few spots we did. And this trailer is so tiny. I mean, it's a closet size almost. They gave wardrobe just the tiniest little fraction of a trailer. And you go in, and it's this woman steaming clothes. And you just feel, and I'm in there and kind of trying to make small talk, but it's like awkward, and like she's still steaming clothes and not giving me my clothes. I'm like, am I not supposed to be in? I was told to come in here, but we're standing so close. You're like steaming my face. And then at one point she's like, oh shoot, I forgot something. And she like hangs up the steamer, and she goes outside of the trailer. And so I'm just standing alone in the trailer. Tiny little trailer. And then just this expulsion of a fart just comes out of my ass. It was just like an accidental fart, but it was like so much air came out. I was stunned with myself. I was like, whoa, why did you just fart? This woman, this is such a tiny little trailer. Don't fart. And it was kind of a hot fart. You figured it might smell a bit. But I couldn't believe how much air just came out of me at once. It was like, woof. I said, oh, Jesus, why'd you couldn't hold that in for fucking 2 minutes and go fart outside? This woman's going to come back. So I'm in there, and I'm like trying to fan this fart. It does stink a bit. I was like, oh shoot, I'm waving it, trying to like away from the door, just dissipate it. I don't know. Cause I'm like, I don't want to push it towards the door where she's gonna come in. But if I push it away from the door, it's all just gonna get trapped in the walls. So I don't know, I'm just kind of trying to, I'm gonna push it away from the door. Keep it away from the door. Buy me as much time for when she comes back. And she took a while to come back. I thought, okay, this is good. It's been a while, so hopefully it's dissipated enough where she won't smell it. She walks into the trailer, pauses for a second. She looks pleasant, doesn't look disgusted. Walks in, just kind of thinks for a second. Turns around, walks back to the door of the trailer and looks outside, peeks outside, looks both ways and goes, are they pumping the bathrooms right now? What is that smell? And I said, that's how odd this fart was. The amount of air that came out of me, and then it smelled not as much like a fart as it is a collection of hundreds of people's shit. So something seems probably to be wrong with my body that day. But she goes, are they pumping the bathrooms right now? What does that smell? And I went, I was just saying that. There's like, it's such a weird area. There's like horses walking around. Like it's a lot of different smells. A lot of different smells around here. And she just goes, yeah, I don't think it's the horses. Okay, lady. Well, never mind. I guess they're pumping the bathrooms then. Or perhaps I just ripped ass in your trailer and I'm sorry, and you didn't have to call me out for it. But if I give you the out to go, yeah, it must be the horses, just go, must be the horses. 100%. Happy New Year. If someone says Happy New Year to you, say Happy New Year. Don't go, well, it's June 28th. I mean, June. January 28th. Kiss my hot white ass. Just say the normal thing and get out of the conversation. No, it's not the horses. So what is it then? If it's not the horses, can we talk about what you think it could possibly be? How about we just say maybe it's the horses? Maybe this woman was like a horse lover. Don't blame it on the horse. Horses don't deserve that. Maybe she was a horse lady. She got mad that I was trying to pin it on the horses. I know you farted in my trailer. And it's a steamy fart too because I've been steaming up these clothes. But anyway, so we shot 4 commercials. That was the only really funny story from that. And it was really funny, huh? That story. So that was pretty much it from that. So maybe that'll show up on your phones or something someday. Straight Talk Wireless. Check it out. But good little start to the year. Finally booked a little something. Hitting the road in March. Not a whole lot to talk about in February. Going to shoot some sketches tomorrow with some friends. That'll be fun. You'll see those. Don't know if they'll be funny. I didn't write them. Hey, I didn't write them. And that's about it, I suppose. Thanks for listening. Let me know if you made it to the Elk. Check out Instagram for like photos of some of the things I was talking about. I'm going to show you that piece of black plastic or rubber that came out of my sink. I'm going to show you my landlord watering my building and things like that. So let me know if you made it to the Elk. Happy New Year. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Happy Valentine's Day if you have a loved one. And if you don't, you're a fucking loser. And as always, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Dance, dance.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Dance, dance. Brio, brio, yeah. Brio, brio, yeah. Brio, brio, yeah. Brio, brio, yeah.